I'm Kurt Feuerherm. I've been a painter for the past 45, 50 years. I've lived in Rochester quite a long time. I came to Rochester in 1953. I had graduated from Yale School of Art, and then I was looking for a job, and there weren't really any jobs at that time. This was in the early 50s. It was very hard to get a teaching job. And, but my former wife got a teaching job in Rochester, so we moved to Rochester. And I got a job right away teaching at RIT and also the art gallery, Memorial Art Gallery. I've also taught at MCC. I taught at Alfred University, University of Washington in Seattle, and I finished up in the SUNY system teaching at Empire State College as a mentor. I've always felt that painters were teachers, and I've often heard painters say, well, don't get into teaching because it's really going to take away from your creative time. Well, I've not found that. I've found that it's very stimulating for me because of the interaction with students. Well, my philosophy of teaching is really teaching everybody as an individual, trying to find out what they want to do and how they can get there. I've traveled quite extensively in Mexico. I've been in Italy, I think, 6 or 7 times. Basically, it's important to me because seeing artwork in its original state is very different than seeing it on a slide in a classroom. And there's a kind of a tactile quality that you get from looking at the thing. And also it makes you look at how this particular painter has done something. And it takes a kind of mystery out of it. It just, you look at it and you say, aha, that's how it was done. You know, I went through a period of where I wasn't quite sure whether I should be a painter or not. And I went to the Francine Clark Museum in Williamstown, and there was a little Dutch painting of a landscape. And it just sort of clarified it for me. Here was somebody showing me what it was like in Holland in the 17th century. And you could get the atmosphere, and it made you think about the lighting, everything, you know, because it was not an electrical lighting era. It was a candle and oil lamp era, so it had a very different feeling about it. A show that the Met, it was the first show that the Met ever did of contemporary artists. I mean, up to that time, they showed nothing but art that was already established. And it was a very controversial show because a lot of the abstract expressionists boycotted the show. And so I was in this national show, and I was featured in Life magazine, and it was just a, you know, it says that like young talent that's coming up. You know. Well, landscape painting, when I went out to University of Washington, I got enamored by the landscape because we went into Eastern Washington, and Eastern Washington is a wonderful landscape. It's just full of canyons. They call them coulees. It has all these wonderful color combination of mauves and moss greens. And how do you know when a painting is finished? I don't think you can always, well, I know when my painting is finished. I know I said, that's it, that's enough, you know. But when you're talking about somebody who's just out of art school or just starting to paint, it's not an easy thing. I think your style or the way you look at things will appear no matter what area you're working in. One of the things that sticks in my mind from my mentor, Seymour, is that he said, try to make every painting an experience. Don't try to repeat them too much, but make each painting a different kind of experience. And that's what I try to do in the paintings. Oui. Si. okay?